It's not.
Welcome to the pre-show.
Well, I didn't think Caldea was broken.
I was thinking, it's just kind of, a thing.
I mean, he looks badass. I want to use him in OU. I want to use him on a rain team.
Oh, fucking make an OU team then. Go into poker, whatever, and just.
I would toss that fucker in my rain team.
Also, how long does this shit record for?
Forever.
Forever?
Yes.
Are you serious, nigga?
This thing will record as long as you keep on letting it record, or you run out of memory.
Sweet.
Notice this little signal here, probably 99 plus hours.
Nice. All right.
So I think we'd knock out before this thing knocks out.
Of course. Like, my mom would come in and just start yelling at the screen because, there's people over in my room with the garbage, and there's still a couch there, and there's still a treadmill there.
What, they didn't come in, they didn't take it?
They didn't take that shit. They didn't want to move it through the door.
You're gonna have to tell your mom that shit.
I told her. She's pissed. Anyways.
Oh, God.
Welcome, guys, to the very first...
Hold on a second. Let's give it, like, a 10-second pause.
Alright. Hey, everybody. This is the first episode of the MetaWhirl podcast on January 16th, 2013. My name is Anthony Castaneda, and
this is Alex Hofstetter.
Just kind of
looking into the bit of new, huge information that we got about a week ago.
Yeah. Pokemon Gen 6 just got announced, and we're really excited about it. Generally, I've been wanting to do a podcasting for a little while. Mainly just because I also want to know, how stupid I sound, in the future when Gen 6 comes out, and I'm like, yeah, I want to have this and that, and I'm like, man, those are stupid, terrible ideas.
Yeah, Polyking is going to be the best idea, and it will make up 99% of the new Pokemon.
Oh, dude, Polyking would be the best. Well, dude, if Roki turns into Polyking, that would be pretty much the coolest fucking thing ever.
Well, you aren't getting a water fighting. I'm going to get another fucking fire fighting, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to kill you. Because you laid that curse upon me.
Okay, so, so tell us a little about yourself, Alex.
Well, what I'm thinking for the new gen is that we have our 3 starters. There's totally not Bianca, Furbait, and Frog who's wearing a cloud. That is actually probably Bubbles.
Yeah, it's probably Bubbles.
Our guesses right now is that Chespin dude's going to probably could go anywhere. It could be grass normal, it could be grass fighting, maybe even grass dark if they take it that way.
I would like grass bug. I know it's 4 times weak against fire, but
grass bug. Fucking marmoset.
I'm just saying.
I know. But that's just highly unlikely. The fire one. Either they go with the obligatory firefighting, which I will be absurdly pissed at.
And I will be drinking the tears of everyone who likes that stupid thing. I'm sorry, I don't really like the fire fox.
I understand. But still, Blaziken will skin a bitch alive. If it's another firefighting. What I'm expecting is the Fire Ghost or Fire Psychic. What Ninetales should have been.
Dude, Fire Ghost? That would be kind of cool.
Well, we already had Chandelure and we already had Victini, but...
Yeah.
But actually going with what a Kitsune is supposed to be makes sense.
Yeah. I do kind of... Though, I don't know, they could maybe make it maybe pull a fast one, make a Fire Ground or something cool like that.
That would be weird. That'd be weird. The Water one. And I'm expecting to be either Water Dark or, for some odd reason, Water Fighting. But that would only be to complete some kind of reverse trio where you have a Water Dark, a Fire Psychic, and a Grass Fighting.
Though, for the Water one, I don't know. I've seen people go and say, hey, maybe it's going to be, Water Flying because it has, the cloud stuff. I don't know. Pelipper was pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be Water Flying. I don't think they're going to turn it into a Kami.
That'd be pretty cool, though. That'd be cool.
It'd be hilarious if it evolved into Thunderous.
Just out of nowhere, just new genie.
Yeah. then we have X and Y. I don't know anything about Z. All the thought on what X and Y are is really interesting. I like the current theory that X is supposed to be neurons, in the endoderm. I mean in the exoderm, and Y is supposed to be muscle tissue in the mesoderm. And that seems pretty cool. Well, and I already have 3 typings that I expect to see out of both of them because of these reasons. I expect to see out of Y fighting, dragon, and or flying in some combination.
Okay, I thought you were gonna talk about some new typing or some bullshit like that. I was like, we're gonna stop this podcast right now so I can beat the shit out of you.
No. I already read someone say that stupid ass bullshit where they thought this would be the generation where they announced sound and light type.
Oh,
Brian posted that in the chat. He's like, what? How do you feel like this? And I'm like, the second I see the word sound, light in bold, I'm like, nope. Close the tab, turn off the computer, walk to their house and kick the shit out of them. I'd be alright with sound if for some godforsaken reason they decide to put in a new type, but light is where I draw the line.
What about space? We find out space.
Space, it's hard to say, but maybe. It's already covered in psychic and steel type, though.
It is. But, though, the only thing about space is if they were to make a space type, everybody in their fucking mob would go, it's like, there should be a time type now.
Yeah, which is really fucking dumb. Because it's like, no, this stands for outer space, not space-time, you dumbass. Smack him across the head. But seriously, yeah. When I'm thinking for X...
The X legendary, right?
Yeah, Y legendary is going to be some combination of dragon because it looks like a dragon thing, fighting because muscles, and or flying because it's a fucking bird.
Dude, flying fighting would be pretty.
Flying fighting or fighting dragon would be pretty badass.
Oh, dude, a fighting dragon. That doesn't. Well, then Altaria, but
yeah. While for the X one, I'm expecting either steel, psychic, and or electric.
I don't know. No grass? Everybody has been saying grass up the ass.
Grass makes no sense for that thing. I mean, sure, you got the little antlery things, but again, that draws to the neuron parallel, and the closest thing I'm going to think of with neurons is going to be electric. Electric or psychic. A psychic electric type seems pretty cool.
Dude, that stab? Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Imagine that. Flying dragon and electric. Even steel electric. Steel electric and flying fighting.
That might work.
They balance each other out so fucking well. You have the steel electric spec sweeper and the flying fighting fizz sweeper.
Yeah, so we agreed that you're getting X and I'm getting Y because obviously Y is the better of the two, despite us knowing nothing.
No, it's because X is clearly going to be a steel type, and I'm going to be like, oh yes.
Okay, I guess we should go over that. Alex's favorite typing is steel types, and my favorite type...
And psychic types to a lesser extent.
Yeah. My favorite typing just happens to be ground and water to a lesser extent as well.
Yeah. Think about it. And then we have the stuff from the trailer.
Ooh, the stuff from the trailer looks cool.
Yeah. That web...
Uh-huh.
I've heard people say that it's part of the Wi-Fi, the whole Wi-Fi online thing, which seems pretty interesting. And it's like, I could see that being the way you enter the Wi-Fi, where it's like you just fall down this big thing and then you land on this web, and it's the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
No,
either that or Shantae, where there's a fucking zombie chick with her World Wide Web of spiders. Yeah, they have a Gabantula and a spin and a spinner rack in order to go online.
Yes, but no, Electroweb.
Electroweb.
Yeah, but more seriously, there's the whole, that, or it's going to be another bug gym, because Spurg has this whole web of lies and deceit.
Burke is fucking weird.
Yeah.
But more on Gen 5 later.
Yeah.
Though, you know...
I also think that we're going to get either a psychic or ghost gym for sure, because that other one, the one that... You saw, that one thing where you can see the two posts that are clearly the posts that go in the gym, and then you have this big flashy black and neon space in the background, and suddenly the walls suddenly appear and they form into this little cozy room. That just screams psychic or
a dark gym would be really cool, and it would be actually really interesting to see more dark types.
Yeah, it's been a long ass time since we've had one of those. I don't think we've ever had one.
No, we've never had one.
Fuck.
The closest thing we've had to one is like freaking Brawly's gym, where it's like all dark and then it like slowly gets bigger.
Brawly, Dark Gym theme, fighting gym Pokemon.
I'm pretty sure in the eventual remake they'll make it make some more sense.
Yeah.
Though I really like Mei Ling's gym. Like
Mei Ling's punching back.
That was cool. Like
Yeah,
even though that fighting gym should not make my brain hurt, I think that was a pretty cool puzzle.
Well, the gyms have to have some kind of puzzle.
Yeah, I know. Though I always kind of felt really dumb in what's her faces? The ghost chick in Gen 4, the hot one.
Yeah. Chantal's? No, not Chantal. Chantal is Gen 5 gym leader. It's
No, she's the Elite 4 chick.
I mean, yeah.
Fantina.
Fantina, there
Yeah, in the Fantina gym where I was like, I want to fight all the trainers, but my character would be like really retarded if he's like getting this like grade level math wrong. And I'm like, okay, I'll solve the puzzle, but then I'll just go and beat up all the trainers because I need the experience.
Yeah. No, in Fantina, it's like, and why did she even have math? With a name like Fantina, you'd expect to be having some kind of floating hover water puzzle.
Dude, that actually, no, it would be really cool if like they actually had like little phantom stuff or something. I don't know. But a dark gym is really cool. I like the idea of that.
Yeah.
Though
gambling gym.
Oh, gambling gym.
Yeah. Well, it'd be Pike. It would be the Pike.
Yeah. Though, you know that one scene in the trailer where you see the main character go and do a little vine swing and stuff?
Yeah.
What if it's the bug gym? Like, the bug gym is like a giant tree that you have to spiral up and then you fall down into the spider web.
That would actually be pretty cool. Though that could also be a dungeon. A bug-focused dungeon.
A bug-focused dungeon would be pretty sweet. Like, kind of like the Bellsprout Tower in Gen 2.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of hoping for something like that. With the whole new genetics thing, I'm hoping for more prominence in poison, psychic, and bug Pokemon.
Generation 5 had a pretty good selection of Pokemon.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, because it's like you've seen my shit for. You've seen both my shit for it's like if I were designing a Pokemon gen, I'd either make I had fucking bugs for legendaries. The legendary trio was corresponding type was bug, because it was supposed to be all about Pokemon origins and shit like that.
Yeah. Though, more bugs would be pretty sweet, just like to go and expand on it. I mean, I really like Crustle, and I like that Horsapede, and...
Yeah, there's also Leavanny's pretty damn badass.
Yeah, you really like that Leavanny.
Dapper badass, even though bug grass.
Yeah, bug grass, it has its advantages.
Yeah.
Have we had a bug fighting? Oh yeah, Heracross. Yeah. Heracross would be another bug fighting would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, but bug is actually surprisingly solid. It's just they never distribute enough of it, and they always try to shoehorn in those weak ass stats. Like here's looking at you, Butterfree.
Hey, Butterfree has some weak ass stats, but in NU, it's a pretty damn good lead.
Yeah.
Go and put your opponent to sleep. Go and quiver dance a couple times and just wreck house.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that they take more cues from Gen 3 with the Pokemon distribution.
Oh, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, like a fucking Slaykoth. That thing was rare in the first forest. But that shit carried you through a game.
Yeah, it did. It did.
And they did a good job with where they put the Trapinch. It's a fucking glass cannon. The second it's a Flygon, it will carry you for the rest of the game.
They put Flygon pretty well in Gen 5. Yeah, Gen 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They put it at about the same place as they did in Gen 3.
Same with like Lucario and like Azumarill. Like Azumarill, I didn't think was going to be that great, but that thing turned out really cool.
Yeah, because the whole huge power.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and Lucario, it made sense that they put it right there. I just farmed my thing up to 21, and then just swamped the poison gym with it, despite the fact that it's a fighting type, which isn't very effective against steel. But that whole,
poison
against poison, but the whole steel type immunity just fucks up Dogars.
Yeah. So also we saw some other stuff in the trailer. Like we saw our new protagonist. How do you like the new look for the dude?
For the dude, he looks kind of cool. I'm still hoping for that customization. We saw that with the fucking sunglasses in the mirror.
Though I have seen like gifs where people are like, no, that was just a glitch where when he swings on the vine, the glasses get left behind. I don't know if that was just like
The other possible thing is that it's not so much customization, but actually showing items you've picked up throughout the game in there. Like, those could be some kind of go goggles type of thing.
Yeah. That'd be actually pretty sweet. I would like to...
Dude, a dungeon that's... Another electric dungeon that's super bright, and you can't go in unless you have a pair of sunglasses.
That'd be pretty funny. That's actually pretty sweet. Like, It's like the opposite of Flash.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Flash was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Though, like, I wish Flash had, like, better accuracy. I think that's, like, the only problem I have with it.
The problem with Flash is that accuracy reduction moves are kind of eh.
Yeah, they are, but...
Like if Flash did something else besides just accuracy reduction, it'd be so much more usable. It's the fact that you have to have it on your team, on one of your Pokemon, which means you have to have an electric Pokemon in your team.
Well, there's a lot of other things that
or you just run around blind in the dungeon.
Though, to be fair, like, only certain dungeons. Like, I remember going through the Dark Cave as a kid just fine without it. But, like, certain times, like the one in Generation 4, that thing was obnoxious. I was like, oh, Jesus. Even with a fucking Flash, it's, like, a
hard
nightmare.
As hell. You're better off just getting a map.
I pretty much did. I pretty much had to get a map, and I'm super stupid.
Yeah, and we all know how you feel about Moogie in a hat.
Yeah. I do like... I really think she looks too much like Moogie. Then again, we haven't really had, like, a good, like...
Full shot of either of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit early to be talking too much about their designs other than what we've seen in the 3D models. I'm still hoping for that fucking customization, though.
I know. I do think that I do like the idea that, like, you just, like, stand in front of, like, a mirror and then, like, you can just go and, like, change out your sunglasses or whatever.
That would be pretty awesome. That would be pretty awesome if it was just, like, a mirror. You go into a mirror. It's like in front of a mirror, you have your clothes bag and you can just change your clothes.
Yeah. And then, like, you get into these really awkward situations where you go into someone's house and you just change your clothes there.
It's almost as bad as rooting through someone's trash or breaking their pots.
Yeah. Or just going into someone's house and just, like, digging through their junk. And just...
Or stealing their treasure chests.
Yeah, or just taking some dude's, like, Dig TM. Because Dig in Generation 1 has 100 base power, which was...
No, hasn't it always had that?
No. Originally, it was 100 base power.
Mm-hmm. Then
in Generations 2 and 3, it was base power 60. Mm-hmm. And then in Generations 4 and 5, it was base power 80.
I liked... It made sense that it was base power 100. It's basically Fly.
I do, but you got it really early in the game.
True.
You got it really early in the game, and plus when you have a move that has the same base power as Earthquake, it's pretty...
I don't feel that bad about it because the trade-off is you don't hit all opponents in double battles, and in single battles you're taking a turn away.
But this is Generation 1 we're talking about. There's no double battles yet.
Well, I know, but still, you're taking a turn away.
Yeah.
To do it. An Earthquake, just a solid Earthquake is generally better in those cases.
Yeah, but not only that, but like back in not only that, but they just like totally handed that to you right before you fought the Electric Gym.
That's what it was there for. Fuck the Electric Gym.
Pretty
your
much.
Pikachu's learning Dig.
It's either you teach your Pikachu Dig or whatever Pokemon learns Dig.
You teach your Charmeleon Dig.
Charmeleon was really cool. You could teach him Dig and Fly.
No, not Fly. You teach him Fly as Charizard.
Charizard learns Fly. Charizard also learns Dig. It's pretty sweet. You could just picture like a Charizard like...
digging, then flying. Digging, knocking someone off into the air, fly, seismic, tossing him down onto the ground.
I was thinking just the opposite way, where you like fly up, and then you just dive bomb down, and then you just dig a hole because you hit the ground so hard.
I love thinking of those combo moves, though. Flare Blitz plus Brave Bird, plus Drill Peck, blazing Fire Chicken of Doom.
Yeah, but I've always we did technically have combination moves in Gen 5. It's just that they didn't really do anything, and nobody really uses them.
Yeah, I know which ones you're
Water
talking about, but you
Plague,
had to use them. The pledges required you to use only the second Pokemon would get the boost, and you could only really use them in double battles.
Yeah, I remember I actually was talking to Mike.
Triple battle with those.
Yeah, I remember I was actually talking to Michael about those, and he was telling me about how actually like one of them was pretty good just because like it was like a swamp and it like slowed down your opponent, so you could go and easily just kind of beat them down a bit easier.
But yeah, then you have the whole 3D models thing. So we were talking about that.
Oh Jesus, yeah. 3D model. I actually did I tell you that I actually was kind of sad a couple days ago just because my buddy was just like, dude, this is the last Black and White 2 is the last Pokemon game where you're gonna see freaking sprites. I was just like, wow.
True. That is kind of sad. We won't be seeing sprites for
any Pokemon game.
Yeah. Imagine how hard it is going to be to replicate that on Pokemon Online.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
Well,
definitely that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they'll probably take stills of the
pokes and just like. But that's really crazy just to think about. A buddy of mine was also was talking about how I was treated. He was talking about how annoying it's going to be going and animating a bunch of Pokemon. But then again, I was like, well, you have a lot of recyclable animations you could use.
Yeah, it's like they're basically just making. Look at Coliseum and Battle and all of them. 3D models are not that hard to do, and you only have to animate the model. You build the model on a skeleton, and it's pretty easy to do. The only reason that we haven't really seen it in the games for the handheld is, I suspect, is because they haven't thought that any of the systems met the graphics limitations that they intended to be.
Yeah, pretty much. As for it being on the 3DS, how do you feel about that?
I actually like it. I feel that Gen 5 was more like a Gen 4.5, even though it was there to get people hyped back into Pokemon. It had some it had some nice changes. The new pokes are always nice, but as I said, it feels like it was just there to mark that jump from one generation to the next. Like the way I see it is that each generation of Pokemon goes with a new console.
Yeah. I actually really liked Gen 5 mainly because it felt the closest to, Black and White felt the closest to that original red and blue feeling.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. And I'd actually say that it's feasibly better than the original ones were because of the fact that it's the feeling of the originals with the refinement from over a decade of...
Honestly, it's pretty much like a love letter to Gen 1.
Yeah, it's a love letter to Gen 1. Basically it's Gen 1 with all the problems fixed.
With a little bit, with some issues of simplicity, but we'll get into that other stuff.
But the simplicity was already there in Gen 1, for the most part.
Kind of. We'll get into that later, but, what else happened in that trailer? Is there anything really else? Well, it's set in Europe. That's something new.
Well, yeah, Europe, but that's to be expected. They've kind of run out of regions in Japan, and now they're going worldwide. There's also the fact that it's shown for sure we're getting older Pokemon in the game. Like you said, we want to know where we're getting that fucking Dratini.
I do. I actually, if I can get that Dratini, maybe if I can get that Dratini by 5th gen, I'm pretty much running it.
Yeah. And then you have the Magikarp and Pikachu. Pikachu makes sense. Oh, that Pikachu opening was hilarious. Some Pokemon subtitles.
Dude, I love Pokemon with subtitles. It always makes me smile.
Yeah, but yeah. I want to know the silly thing that I would not be against having happen is if you could make Pokemon evolve in special ways, like. You have a Magikarp with a Focus Sash, and your opponent uses Waterfall, and it instantly evolves into a Gyarados.
This is ridiculous.
No, dude, that's how the legend goes. Because I believe it's a carp. If a carp jumps through a waterfall and survives, it turns into a dragon. That's why it evolves into a fucking Gyarados.
I wouldn't want to do that, but
yeah, that'd be dumb as fuck.
Yeah,
but it'd be hilarious to see.
What is this? Fossil fighters? We're having mid-battle transformations.
It'd be hilarious.
Though also Fossil Fighters, that shit's good. If you haven't tried that shit, just go and ROM hack it or just that shit's good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, if you can get it for $5, buy that shit.
Yeah.
But also, there's also Golurk in it, which I ran Golurk. Usually my role for Pokemon games is I usually try to run new stuff all the time, so that way I learn to appreciate new stuff and learn that they're pretty cool. While Golurk is really cool, I'm kind of sad I use him, though.
Yeah.
He's a pretty badass ground type. If you haven't used one, use it. It's a good fly whore. He'll fly around for you, and you can just imagine like a giant robot. Yeah, it's the coolest thing ever. It's a giant robot. I don't know why Generation 1 people ignore this. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's not like it's the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Yeah. What else? There was Magikarp. Oh, there was also a Patrat, so...
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping they don't pull the Generation 2 where you find fucking... Like, okay, I have an issue with Gen 2 where you go out in the first field and you find...
A Rattata.
You find a Rattata, and you go... It's just like the same with Gen 1. Like, I know that there's also Sentrets and...
Yeah, this is supposed to feel like a new... This is supposed to feel like a new region. And really, if this is taking place on a whole other continent, if you're not seeing... You should be feeling like it's a new region right off the bat by seeing new stuff right off the bat.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you expect that we're gonna? What do you kind of want or kind of expect in this new game?
Like I pretty much listed all my wants so far. Is that I want that psychic. I want the starter to be fire psychic. I'm hoping the legendary is some interesting type combination that we haven't had before. Like I said, electric psychic sounds pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, it does.
Same thing with flying fighting, and then then there's also the whole other thing with. And actually, I'm kind of losing my kind of course of thought here. I want to see more interesting typing combinations. Like an electric fire would be cool.
Electric fire would be pretty sweet. I would actually really like. My thing is, I want to see a ground fighting. Or like
ground fighting. That'd be pretty cool. Fighting needs more combinations.
It's a really versatile type and really interesting, especially like if you go.
But then they always waste it on a singular type.
I forgot what else. We forgot a Pokemon that was in the trailer.
What?
We forgot that there was a Relt in the trailer.
Oh yeah. There we go. PsychicTeam.jpg.
I actually read.
That's the other thing. I want our Fennekin to be Gardevoir too. Electric Boogaloo.
Fire, but now it's fire electric. It's not psychic at all. Actually, if I can get that shiny stone early enough, I think I'm actually gonna try to run a
Glade.
Yeah, Glade. I've never tried one before.
I've heard they're decent, and though Jerseys goes down like a bitch. He can't handle a choice banded Flygon U-turn.
Dude, like his entire team is weak to bug. I swear.
I love that. He's like, that fucking hold that ice. What am I going to do? Use an ice type move on it? And then I just switch into a fucking Arcanine and blurs the shit out of it.
I told you how I went just swept his team with a Crustle, right? It was the best thing ever. He let me get the Shell Smash off for free. And then I just...
Why? Did he switch out on you?
He switched out on me. And then, like, he switched out to, what's it called? Starmie. And he lets me get the free Shell Smash, and I proceed to go...
bug him to death.
Yeah, I just X-scissor his entire team, and it's just goes down. Yeah. It was pretty sweet. Though, the only thing that, like, kind of gave me some problems was his stupid Seismitoad. I've always had problems fighting that thing. I really maybe should run more.
I've never had an issue with that thing, but that's just because of the whole fucking versatility of my team.
Yeah.
A fucking choice banded Flygon's just gonna go and outrage it to death.
Yeah.
Or Lucario will just beat it down.
Yeah. I would kind of like to see... I would like to have another ground gym. I hope that the 8th gym, if it's going to be something like water or something, I wish that it's like something really concrete and strong.
Yeah.
I really didn't like the 8th gym in...
Black White 2.
It was so terrible. Like
all it was a simple... It was a fairly simple puzzle. I was able to figure it out fast. And water isn't really a great type at the end.
Well, no. Like,
and it's ironic because the team I set up, You remember that my Black White 2 run? It was we're gonna have a Pretty Princess run, and then my entire team, it ends up half my team is grass type.
Yeah. Well, water isn't like you can go and make water threatening.
Yeah.
Like fucking melodic. I fucking hate that thing. Like that thing's a problem.
Yeah. Juan was pretty threatening, but it's like I'd rather have a type that demands respect. Like right out the gate. Like Dragon type is
hold on. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
There was a phone call.
Yeah. Basically, like I said, I want a typing that demands respect.
A psychic type for 8th gym would be
Psychic type 8th gym. Steel wouldn't work as an 8th gym. Maybe a 6th gym, 6th, 7th gym. Unless you got some really badass steel types.
Yeah. 8th gym,
or Dragon. Dragon always works.
Dragon's always good, but I always kind of feel like they hype that shit up way too much.
Yeah.
And plus, it's like, we, in Black and White, originally, the 8th gym was fire. I was, Dragon, and then Generation 2, it was Dragon.
No, Generation 1, the 8th gym wasn't Dragon.
No, 2, sorry.
Yeah. Generation 2, it was Dragon. 3, it was, water. 4, it was...
Electric?
Yeah, electric. 5, it was Dragon again. I'm guessing something new would be interesting. If they want to curve it out, they could end with a fire gym.
A fighting gym would be pretty sweet.
No, I said fire.
Fire?
That's hard to do, though.
That's really hard to do. Harder than water. A lot harder than water.
Yeah. Because you've got to make really threatening stuff with fire.
Poison would be a decent gym.
I guess, yeah.
If you build it really tankish and stuff, and you...
Yeah. It really depends on what new Pokemon come with the new gen.
Yeah.
I have high hopes from the designs we've gotten so far.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to see what Game Freak has up its sleeve, and I really want a Hummingbird Pokemon, and I really want a Platypus.
Hummingbird flying electric?
Hummingbird flying electric, dude. Just make it, like, super fast.
Platypus water poison.
Water poison? Well, I don't want to get into the whole thing about Platypi, but yeah.
Platypi! Nature's Megazord.
Yeah. Though I remember, like, back in the day on VP, people would argue that a platypus Pokemon already exists in Psyduck, and I was like, that's some garbage right there.
Duck.
That's a duck, and sure, it has weird-ass claws, but that's just Gen 1 art.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that brings us to a nice time to take a little break, play some music.
Yeah, we're gonna have some OC remix shit, and maybe something from the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be right back with that a little bit later. See yas! And welcome back. Hopefully we had some music in there, and hopefully you dug it. I just didn't skip it.
No one skips our music. We're ending the video now if they skipped it.
Yeah. We're actually going to play more music? No. Fuck that. Alright, so, something that I actually kind of thought about recently was the fact that we're, like, the games are, Generation 6 is shifting a lot of things because it's 3D. And it's like...
Yeah, like they said it. They were pretty accurate in calling it at the start of a whole new evolution of Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's like a Mew 3. Except it won't have the stupid space psychic... the space sound like typing.
We're getting triple types, niggas!
Yeah, all the stupid predictions that everyone tries to toss in there.
Yeah.
All together in one bad package.
Anyways, Rainbow... remember when they thought it was going to be Gen 6 was going to be called Pokemon Rainbow or whatever?
Yeah, that shit was dumb.
Actually, there was a little kids fan site that was like, Pokemon Project Rainbow, the
one good thing about that site.
Oh my god.
The awesome button.
Okay, so it's totally like just like a kid's little webpage that he probably had his dad set up in like 5 minutes. But no joke, it had one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Okay, so like it has these stupid polls about, did you visit this page? Did you think it was cool? Blah blah blah.
No problem. And then there's the press the awesome button. Did you think that was awesome?
Awesome button just blew my mind. Okay, so what the awesome button does, because I think the website's down, if it's not, I'm going to shove a link to it. A velociraptor from Jurassic Park just pops up out of nowhere and just roars and scrolls across the screen and then goes back down.
It's amazing.
Out of nowhere. I remember, like, I sent you this Pokemon Rainbow website. You were just like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I was like, dude, did you press the awesome button?
You're like, nope.
I was like, dude, press the awesome button.
Press it. Oh my god, that was amazing. Site's still dumb, though.
I actually want more dude, that's actually something I really want. I want at least 4 fossil Pokemon. I want fossil Pokemon up the ass.
Dude, this is where Rex the More King of Prehistory comes in, and he becomes the first uber non-legendary Pokemon. Based off his stats alone. No, because what else would you expect him to do with a rock dragon? Like give it 120 speed and 165 base power, and then have shit stats everywhere else.
Oh,
because it'll fall into the 495 total power on a stage 2 fossil Pokemon. Because that is totally not broken, especially when it has Head Smash, and its ability, it gives you a 10% chance to put out a random status condition on a Pokemon you hit. It's totally not broken, right?
Yeah. But back to the Gen 6 stuff.
More fossil stuff. More fossil stuff seems like it'll be great.
Yeah,
hey,
but
get a saber-toothed cat, normal rock. That'd be an interesting...
Everything rock.
No, normal rock. That'd be pretty weird.
Yeah.
Weird. Then you got the caveman fighting rock.
Yeah, fighting rock. We have a Pokemon based off our friend Mark now, the Troglodyte. It's actually really... Were you there when I called him a Troglodyte? And he was like, what the hell's a Troglodyte? I was like, here's a mirror! But yeah, it's really weird, like, thinking about, like, how I'm going to be rustling through the grass. And, like, I don't know whether that, I would actually
probably... How will the Safari Zone work?
I actually think I would pretty much hate it if, like, I could actually see Pokemon, like, rustling in the grass.
Well, I doubt we'll actually see Pokemon. We might see shadows. That's how they'll do the old wrestling grass thing, is that you might see a shadow, and if you walk up to the shadow, it'll basically be a combination of Final Fantasy, the old Final Fantasy overworlds, and Tales, and the Tales of series' way of doing monster battles, where you have a couple of those little shadows things that you can't tell what they are roaming around in the overland, and some grass that if you're walking through it, it'll randomly spawn encounters.
Who knows? Also, like, just...
That would actually be pretty awesome. It's like, like if you could actually see what was in the wrestling grass, it's like, oh, there's the Pikachu. Run up. Battle of Pikachu.
Though it would kind of ruin shinies.
Yeah.
It would ruin shinies forever, and though I would finally fucking catch a shiny.
Yeah. But hey. You just gotta be really lucky. I mean, I caught Shiny 5 hours into Gen 5.
Dude, I don't know what's up with people. I don't know.
5 hours into Gen 5, I find a fucking shiny. It probably made up for the fact that 200 hours into 3rd gen, I find a shiny Tentacool. I don't have any fucking Pokeballs, and I end up having to kill it.
This guy over here, just catching shinies all day long.
No, I couldn't catch that fucker. I didn't
just
have any
seeing
Pokeballs.
shinies, just walking down the street and sees a fucking shiny
Doesn't beat
everything.
out my Gen 1 Krabby.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know was a shiny, so I didn't know it was Gen 2.
Didn't even know it was a shiny. Anyways, speaking of Generation 1, I guess we should, like, quickly go over our thoughts on each gen, just as a little thing.
Yeah. You already know, I think Gen 3 is probably one of the best.
I would probably... Gen 3 probably, now that Generation 5 is over, I still kind of am on the fence of which is better, Gen 5 or Gen 3, but I really like both. They both have their good things, but I probably would go with Gen 3 maybe, but...
Yeah, it's just that it has a bit more meat to it, and for me it's also the fact that it has a shitload of my favorite Pokemon in it.
Yeah, actually...
No, Gen 5 also has a lot of my favorites too.
Yeah. But Generation 1 was my first game, and I have a special place in my heart. Like, it'll always have.
Yeah.
But that game is really kind of bad.
Yeah, same here. First time I played it, I was 5. I got the original Red, my brother got the original Blue, and I've played every single one since, except for Gold and Silver. I played Crystal.
Yeah. But yeah, but I still like a lot of Generation 1 Pokemon, hence the Whirl, and I do kind of like hold a bias sometimes. Like, I had to go and I was filling out this silly little, what's your favorite type? And I was like, for poison, it's either between Nidoking or Venusaur. Oh, I'll just pick Venusaur because that fucking Leech Seed and Red had a Venusaur and Red is the coolest.
I don't like.
Manga Red I'm talking about.
What?
Manga Red.
Oh yeah, Manga Red is badass. I hated the concept of Red in Gold, Silver, Crystal. It's like my tiering for generations. It goes Gen 3 and Gen 5 really close to each other. Then you get Gen 1. Mm-hmm. Actually, sorry, not Gen 1 and Gen 4 are really close to each other. Gen 4 has basically all the issues of Gen 2, except for the actual programming issues, which is why I put it kind of low. Gen 1 has all those programming issues, which hurt it. But then Gen 2, I think, is the absolute worst. Because as much as I like nostalgia as the next person, Gen 2 has terrible pacing. The second region is fucking empty. Pokemon leveling is really terrible in that game. The fact that Red was there kind of ruined the whole first gen is this is you from the first gen thing, because if I was a Pokemon trainer, I wasn't going to be spending all my time up in fucking Silver Mountain. I was going to go become a gym leader or some shit like that.
Yeah, honestly, that's part of the magic of the games for me. It's like going on your own like adventure and making up stories in your head. I mean, when I was playing Black and White 2, like the Sandshrew and Crustle I had, or Dwebble I got, were in the exact same patch of sand. And I was like, dude, they're like fucking bros. Like, they know each other, bro. That's the coolest thing.
It's like, then I had the whole thing with the Pokestar Studios where it's like, okay, they bitch started out with a Snivy and a Stoutland and a Lucario. Well, because she's a fucking movie star, she's going to have those big fancy Pokemon.
Yeah, but at the same time, Generation 2 for me it feels like an incomplete game because it generally kind of was. I do like Soul Silver. I mean, it still has some of the pace. It still has the pacing issues. Yeah,
Soul Silver is on par with Gen 4 in that regard to me because it still has those pacing issues that are also present in Gen 4. It gets a little bit higher because of nostalgia and the fact that it doesn't have all the horrendous glitches that were in Gen 1 and 2. But Gen 2 fixed a lot of the glitches there, but there's still a lot left over.
Yeah, but the thing about Soul Silver was, the cool thing I liked about it, like, even, like, just the little thing of having a Pokemon follow you is always a big thing to people.
That's cute, and I liked that, but it's like
It's
not really going to change my opinion on how the game worked too much because, like I said,
you still have an end game, and you still have a Safari Zone.
Yeah,
and those are two things that they left out of Gen 2 that were kind of meh. Though, like I do like the idea of. I do like the reworked phone system, so you can call gym leaders and just battle them on the fly.
Yeah, that was good. They turned it into what it should have been, which was the little thing from Gen 3.
Yeah.
That's what it should have been. The emerald little.
Yeah, the little. Oh, yeah. The Verse Seeker. I love that thing. They need to bring that thing back. Just like.
Well, I'm not sure. No, I don't think. Oh yeah, it was called Verse Seeker in Gen 3.
Yeah, you just go and pop it up, and bam, there's like.
Well, no, that's the Gen 4 one. The Gen 3 Verse Seeker, it was like a cell phone. You could call people, get their advice, but then it would also list everyone's location and whether they wanted to battle again or not.
Yeah, though that was a little tricky because, like, half the map is water. That's, like, my big thing against Gen 3 is that half the map is fucking water.
That's everyone's big thing against Gen 3.
Either that or they hate trumpets.
Yeah. And I find those to be a lot more minor than pacing issues. Because, like, pacing that game was amazing. Pokemon distribution was amazing.
Though, if you want to ice Pokemon, you're not going to get that till way later in the game.
Yeah, but
I'd actually like early access Pokemon.
Early access to ice Pokemon would be nice. Though the issue, it's like I never really had that issue with early access to ice Pokemon because a water Pokemon does an ice Pokemon's job more often than not.
Yeah, unless it's Keldeo since it doesn't learn Ice Beam.
well, that's why you give it to him Power Ice.
No, it's not Power Ice. You give him Icy Wind.
There we go.
You give him Icy Wind. Or HP Ice if you're not going to run HP Electric or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But, though, I do kind of like, there's a lot of, though Generation 4, that's probably the gen I spent the least time on. I just mainly played Platinum and just, like, beat it, and I was like, oh, that's fun. I do like the Underground. I think that, oh my god,
yeah, if they bring back the Underground, that would be amazing.
Or, like,
with
bases?
complete online capability. The complete online capability with the Underground, because that's the biggest issue I have with the Underground, is that you had to find someone else who had the game to go and get a lot of the Underground stuff.
The thing I'm excited about is because it's on the 3DS, it has Spot Pass.
Yeah, that's what I'm liking too.
Yeah, because that Spot Pass is going to help out a lot. Though, like, especially if, like, they make the Gen 3 remakes on that thing and they have, like, the thing, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful.
Secret bases and all that stuff coming back. It's like, because that was our big theory, is that it's like Gen 1 is all right, Gen 2 is utter crap, Gen 3 makes Gen 3 was great, and then they revised Gen 1 to be as good as Gen 3, although with still some of the Pokemon distribution issues. Gen 4 improves upon Gen 2, and it's like Gen 5 is basically at the level of Gen 3, and we're like, imagine what happens when Gen 3 gets its remake.
And then we were just like, oh my god.
Pokemon getting perfection.
Oh my god, it's going to be the best thing ever. And they'll make something that makes it so traveling the oceans wouldn't be as obnoxious.
Yeah. I like the idea of instead of HMs, you've got key items that let you replicate 8 effects.
Dude, who said that? I actually never heard that before.
I've seen it occasionally in fan concepts for Pokemon.
So instead of learning strength, you just get the power bracers and you can move rocks now.
Well, kind of like that. It's like I was thinking actual tools, stuff like that. I talked about this with my whole your reason for going on an adventure is that you're trying to be able to go out into the world because this is based on the national parks of North America.
Yeah.
So every gym is really a research station in that regard, and you get shit like, oh, you got a raft, so now you got an inflatable raft, so now you can surf on the water. You got a signal beacon, so you can use that to contact a town, and they'll fly in and get you, stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess that's more of like what we want in Gen 6,
yeah.
But What else is there? I actually really about Gen 2. I actually really do like. I've never realized this until like I thought about it. I actually like a lot of the Pokemon in Gen 2, just like the new stuff. I hate the way they did babies. That maybe babies, like the way they handled it in Gen 2, maybe the worst thing they could have done. Like I hate the fact that you could. Okay, so like in Generation 1, you caught Magmar at the end of the game, which either had your heart set on catching a Magmar, or you already just had a Charizard or a Ninetales or an Arcanine, so you didn't need one. And so in Gen 2, they go and say, hey, why not make Magby, which is the baby form of it? And if they will shove that in the Burn Tower, like they do in... they don't do it in Generation 4, but like if they let you catch it in the wild and then eventually it grows into a Magmar, that would have been the coolest shit ever.
Yeah. Baby Pokemon is like one of the biggest wastes of space, except on like one or two.
No.
Like Badoo. Badoo kind of did it all right because it's available really, really early on.
Badoo and Munchlax, the way that they're handled, I love them.
Yeah. They're pretty good. I'm fine with them. They're found early on in the game where getting their regular forms would probably be a bit too much.
Same with the Zumurul and Riolu in Black and White too.
Yeah. But the problem is that Gen 2 and Gen 4, in Gen 2 you got one egg, you hoped to God it was the one that you wanted. And in Gen 4, you found half the babies in the right spot. And then the other half of the babies you didn't find till post-game.
Yeah.
Like, not finding a fucking Magby until after you did it. It's like, they did babies fucking amazingly in that game. Elekid?
Yeah. Though, I do like... I do also... Okay, this is a nitpick of Gen 4. I hated how, like, right before the Elite Four, the fucking trainers had, like, Mantikes, and I was like, what? Why am I fighting Mantikes before the Elite Four? I need to be fighting strong stuff before I go and beat these guys.
Yeah. That's, like, one of the big problems I had with Diamond when I was playing Pearl, is I was doing my normal thing, which works in most of the other games, where it's like, oh, hey, I'll trade one Pokemon, maybe two, through the game. So I'm training my Infernape, who is a rape machine, who's supposed to be a rape machine. So I have a level 60 Infernape, I have a level 65 Infernape, and a level 65 Luxray, and some random cop Pokemon that are about level 40 that I'm going to be using as buffers. I tried taking down the Elite Four. I got my ass handed to me, because those two guys alone can't do it. I end up spending another 20-30 hours having to grind up an Infernape to level 85 for it to be able to handle the Elite Four.
There you go.
That's like one of the pacing issues I had, because think about that. I barely got two Pokemon to level 65. Mm-hmm. Imagine how hard it would have been to get an entire team to 65. And then still having issues with that.
I actually got my team to about mid-50s, and I was able to pull off the Elite Four, though it was pretty much like I had to play to weaknesses and have a shit ton of revives. So that's the way I did it.
That's how I had to do it too. It's like I only used one or two revives once I got that Infernape to level 50. But
you mean 85?
Well, yeah, 85. And
don't change the story now. People will eat you alive.
I know. Well, you messed with my head. But yeah, it's like at 85 I had to use one on the I think one or two on the Psychic, and then another with Cynthia. Yeah, because she's got a team that's level 65, which is fucking.
That's what the Gen 4 did right. That was the introduction of just sexy women Pokemon.
Yes, sexy women in Pokemon's always nice.
Yeah, just Generation 5 was just like, hey, let's just make all the chicks hot.
Yeah. You got a couple here and there in Gen 3.
Yeah.
And Gen 1.
Yeah, Gen 1 had
You had one.
Hey.
Well, actually, sorry, you had two. Lorelei and Sabrina.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm thinking about it. No, like, but that's still. Though I do think Janine's pretty cute, even though like she's told no one thinks that she's pretty. Then again, I think always like the chicks that nobody likes her. Like I'm like, dude, Fantina's hot, and they're like, what?
Yeah, Fantina.
What the hell's wrong with?
Only issue is that kind of mannish face.
That's
minor.
Anyways, I think this will do it for the first episode of the MetaWhirl podcast, episode 1. Any closing thoughts or statements?
Not really, other than and water should go suck a dick. You heard me. You heard me, Michael. Go suck a dick, water.
We actually might have him on the next episode, so shut up. Shut your mouth. He needs to talk to us about the show since we don't watch that shit.
Why, Mike? Because we don't want to bring in Jersey?
I want to bring in Jersey.
Well, of course he wouldn't want to bring in Jersey. He'd rage all over the place about how Generation 6 was announced before we got to end in the anime.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, so maybe we'll have some other people next time. Leave us some questions. We'll do a mailbag if you guys want. Maybe you'll go and talk to us about why you love Generation 2 or think that we're wrong about everything or how the idea of a fire psychic fox, fire ground fox is stupid. Even though that it wouldn't take as much damage.
No. It goes from being a fox to being a badger.
Badger.
Fire ground badger fox.
Oh man.
Yeah, but yeah, seriously. Yeah, and if you think we should do other things too, do like battles, let's plays, any of that shit, go ahead and tell us about that too.
Yeah, if you have any interesting stories or whatever, I don't fucking know. This is your podcast just as much as this is ours. If you have any crazy ideas for Gen 6 and what you would like to see, we'll talk about them as well. Just leave a talk or whatever, or question, comment, whatever.
Or send us a note.
Send us a note. Alright, so this will be the first episode of the MetaWhirl podcast. See you guys next time.